The Earth is full of mysteries that puzzle and intrigue scientists and explorers. From the mysterious Bermuda Triangle to the puzzling Skinwalker Ranch, there are places on our planet with unknown origins that spark curiosity and discussion. It's interesting to think about the secrets hidden beneath the Earth's surface or in the ocean's depths, waiting to be found. Are you ready to explore the unknown? Join us as we look into some of the mysterious places that still confuse scientists and can't be explained. Plain of Jars, Laos. In the desolated region of Southeast Asia, thousands of huge and ancient stone jars dot the landscape. The stone jars sit scattered across the land like a giant's forgotten pottery. The remote plains of Xiangkhoang Plateau in Laos receive visitors over time. Some jars have artful reliefs carved into them. They thereby show off the skill of the creator. But no one knows how they got to the plateau in the first place. Some of the giant jars weigh as much as 10 tons and measure nearly 10 feet tall. Scientists only speculate about their purpose. One group of archaeologists believes the jars may have been giant urns celebrating the dead. Hence, the Plain of Jars became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2019 and thereby remains an archaeological mystery. Skellig Island. Skellig is also a mysterious island. It rises like two peaks from a big island endless ocean. It happens to be a place that holds the secrets of Ireland's ancient spirit and creativity. One interesting fact about the island is that it was named after the archangel Michael. Maybe it was because the island once cradled a Gaelic sanctuary from the 6th century. That is why, for hundreds of years, Christian monks called the island Rocky Home. They lived in stone beehive huts. In the 13th century, the monks left the island, thereby turning Skellig into a sacred pilgrimage spot. That is why, if you want to step into the monk's shoes, you have to get ready for a challenge. To climb 618 steep and uneven steps is no easy feat, but reaching the top is like unlocking a hidden treasure. Skellig is also a bird paradise. It is the world's second largest arnet colony, hence it is a haven for bird enthusiasts. There is a fascinating part of history. For the Star Wars fan, Skellig Island is one of the filming sites for Star Wars. How the ancient monks built a monastery on such a tough rock remains a riddle that hasn't been solved yet. It thereby adds an extra layer of magic to Skellig timeless story. If you must visit Skellig Island, you will have to get your ticket in advance. However, getting tickets is much more difficult. You can secure a ticket within a minimum of 4 weeks. Even in the end, you might not later secure one. Also, even if you were able to reserve a seat, you might not be able to travel to Skellig. The reason is that storms and high winds usually stop the excursion daily. The Bermuda Triangle is in the North Atlantic Ocean. The Bermuda Triangle is a triangular region in the North Atlantic Ocean. The corners around the region are marked by Florida, Bermuda, and the Greater Antilles. The Bermuda Triangle has been the site of many unexplained disappearances of ships and planes over the years. Over time, rescue missions have been swallowed by the mystery. The $1 million question remains where everything goes. According to some people, there's some kind of supernatural magic in the Bermuda Triangle. However, most scientists believe it's more about the environment and Earth's natural forces. Despite all the theories, the Bermuda Triangle remains one of the planet's biggest mysteries. According to the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, there is no evidence that mysterious disappearances occur with any greater frequency in the Bermuda Triangle than in any other large, well-traveled area of the ocean. They also revealed that boaters and flyers continue to risk through the triangle without any seen. Barac Plateau, Kazakhstan. Barac Plateau is a place of no return, as it is called. The mysterious place lies in the heart of Kazakhstan's enigmas. It is a place where time stands still. The name comes from Kazakh legends about people who went there and never returned. Meanwhile, some came back after years with strange stories of time glitches and UFO sightings. The cause of people going there and never returning remains unknown. Also, Barac used to be an island in the Aral Sea. However, it dried up and became a plateau in Kazakhstan due to natural changes. People even turned blue after staying overnight on this plateau. It also has a graveyard there with new graves. No one knows who is buried there. It is a strange place where coming back is not guaranteed, even if you have all that it takes to be on the moon for the journey. In August 1848, the first recorded survey of Barsakelmes was made. Geographer A. Maksheyev and topographer A. Akashev made a topographical survey of the island and illustrated its landscape. The first sketches of the local flora and fauna were made by Taras Shevchenko. In 1998, a jumping spider, Psittacus barsakelmes, was named after the island. The Pyramid of Cuicuco in Mexico City. The Pyramid of Cuicuco is a quiet and circular ruin in the heart of Mexico City. The ancient structure is at the center of the oldest city in the Valley of Mexico. According to a report, it was constructed by a civilization that remains unknown to this day. The Pyramid of Cuicuco has an unusual structure. It has a round structure, unlike the usual pointy pyramids. Cuicuco was believed to have originated as a farming village around 1200 BC. From what seems like a strange revelation, fire was believed to be the cause of the civilization's fall apart. It was recorded that parts of the area, along with some of the people, were buried by lava and suffocated by ash. Regardless, however, the pyramid stands protected as an archaeological site and a nature reserve today. A neighborhood with modern buildings and roads is built around the pyramid. Yet it is not the friendliest spot to go on an adventure. Cuicuco's unique pyramid consists of 4 tiers. It also stretches out to 116 meters in diameter. In its prime, it once stood as high as about 26 meters. It was built as a cut-off cone of basalt stones. The Cuiculcans utilized construction techniques that had been innovated by the Olmecs. Also, the stones were placed very consciously and without the use of mortar. The interior, on the other hand, was largely composed of sand and rubble. Over nearly 1,000 years, the pyramid went through at least 8 stages of construction, with each new phase being built over the last. Trees in Casorso, Italy. In a field near Casorso in Italy, 2 trees with a remarkable site coexist. Each of the trees belongs to a different species. Though both are big trees, the much lower tree is mulberry. It grows over the other tree. The mixture of the 2 trees forms an uncommon natural duplex hybrid. The smaller trees occasionally grow on the larger ones. That is why witnessing 2 fully grown trees cohabiting and flourishing like this is exceptionally uncommon. Generally, the well-being of one tree comes at the cost of the other. This development most often affects the tree on top. However, the cherry tree's beautiful white flowers demonstrate that both trees flourish together without any casualties. The uniqueness of this tree has turned it into a local tourist attraction. It leads to its protection, forbidding people from getting too close. Hence, climbing the trees is highly prohibited. Epiphytic growing trees are not unusual, but they normally reach a small size and have a short lifespan. There is normally not enough humus and space available where they grow. However, large epiphytes require that the upper tree have a root connection to the ground, for example, by growing down through a hollow trunk. The Colosso de Ap Penino. The Colosso de Ap Penino is a mysterious statue, not just any statue. It's a centuries-old sculpture that has mixed up many unanswered questions. According to a report, the stone sculpture was crafted by a talented Flemish sculptor named Giambaloni near Florence, Italy. So it looks like a living manifestation of the Apennine Mountains. It is revealed that many things are waiting to be discovered in this colossal figure, part of which is picture 3 levels, the coolest hide-and-seek game ever. The sculpture also breathes out smoke. He has watery clay in his eyes and ears for eavesdropping. Interestingly, it even sweats and cries through a network of water pipes. Sculpture, this pipe casually holds a sea monster that's forming a pond. As earlier noted, the 16th century Italian sculpture is hidden just north of Florence. The Colosso de Ap Penino is also known as the Apennine Colossus. Like a guardian of the pond in front of him, the giant is in an endless watchful pose, perched atop his earthy seat. Hiden in Austria. The Hiden in Austria is also surrounded by mystery. The Bellisian was constructed during the reign of Roman Emperor Constantius II, who ruled between 351 and 361. The true origins of this structure remain unknown. Meanwhile, the Romans sometimes put up similar structures in ancient times to celebrate important military victories. This theory relates to the fact that the ancient city of Carnuntum once occupied this spot. The city houses 50,000 people within its protected walls. While the territory has long disappeared, a solitary angle of this structure endures. It was a 4-sided structure, probably with 4 arches. These tetra towers were often built to celebrate some victory by the local army. Each semblance of the structure was likely 14.5 meters wide. A plinth in the center probably held a god or emperor statue. In addition, for centuries, it was mistaken for the gateway to the old city. Due to the scarcity of its authentic history, numerous stories have been written about the Hiden Tor. Hence, it has become a popular meeting place for pagans. They refer to it as Heaven's Gate for unknown reasons. The ancient Endara temple in Syria. One thing that makes the ancient temple of Endara particularly fascinating is the presence of huge human foot imprints at its entrance. The footprints have existed for at least 3,300 years. The origin of these imprints is yet to be gotten right and accepted. The temple of Endara is located in Syria. Scientists and archaeologists argue that the same people who constructed the temple carved the footprints. They aimed to symbolize the procession of gods into the temple's inner chambers. However, local legends tell a different story. They rather claim that the temple was visited by a great god with clawed feet who left the footprints himself. According to research, a pair of large bare footprints, each about 3 feet 3 inches in length, are carved into the stone floors of the portico. This is followed by a single footprint carved beyond the first two, and another single footprint carved into the threshold. Possibly this marks the deity's procession into the cellar. The inference is that the right footprint seen on the threshold, which is spaced at about 10 meter, 30 feet from the first footprint, could be of a human or goddess at 20 meter, 66 feet in height. Monson has also noted that the deities in all the Endara temple reliefs have shoes with curled up toes. The source of the footprints, whether of gods, humans, or animals, is debatable. Another belief suggests that the temple builders were giants who left behind the footprints. Stories of giant humans inhabiting the region during ancient times add weight to these theories, with the footprints serving as evidence. Unfortunately, the temple suffered severe damage during a Turkish air raid in 2018, but the footprints miraculously survived. Pyramid of Giza. Most visitors to Egypt wonder at the Great Pyramid of Giza. However, a lesser-known secret lies just 20 minutes away in Abu Ghraib. The old city has a sun temple dedicated to the great god Ra built on it. This temple was constructed some 2,400 years ago. According to historical records, 6 sun temples exist in Abu Ghraib, but only 2 temples remain today. Among the ruins is a colossal stone obelisk that once marked the westernmost point of the city. Archaeologists puzzle over massive red granite blocks scattered throughout the area. Adding to the mystery are square alabaster dishes bearing markings resembling gears. It brings about thoughts of an ancient engine. What happened to the technology and its wielders, if its inhabitants possessed them, remains unknown. According to a report, the temple was constructed on the orders of Nisiri-Ini, the 6th king of the 5th dynasty of Egypt. The exact dates of his reign are unknown. He was estimated to come to the throne between 2450 BC and 2430 BC. He also constructed an Egyptian pyramid and burial chamber at Abu Sir. Abu Ghraib was probably constructed late in User's reign, post-2420 BC. This temple is located on the shore of Abu Sir Lake. Entrance to the temple site is by way of a small structure called the Valley Temple. This Valley Temple is partially underwater and over some time has suffered extensive damage. The main temple was built on a hill. It is rectangular. Inside the temple is a large open courtyard. It was believed that the total height of this structure was somewhere between 50 and 70 meters. An altar is in the center of the courtyard, near the eastern side of the obelisk's base. It was constructed from 5 large blocks of alabaster. Nazla Rock, Saudi Arabia. The Al Nasla Rock Formation in Saudi Arabia is a place for many dangerous animals, like rattlesnakes. The mind-blowing site has confused scientists for years. Possibly there is no way to explain a huge sandstone cut right down the middle. It seems like it met a giant laser or a colossal knife. What is more fascinating about the rock is that the 2 halves sit perfectly balanced on small pedestals. That fights both gravity and common sense. The rock is beautified with ancient petroglyphs, illustrating animals, humans, and symbols. Many ideas flow around from the scientists to answer the mystery. Natural causes like erosion, weathering, and tectonic activity are considered part of. Also, there is a belief in human and extraterrestrial involvement. Powerful tools and weapons for rituals or messages inscribed into the stone are thought to be used. The Barabar Caves in India. The Barabar Caves are super ancient. They date back to a time when dinosaurs were not yet in existence. It also happened to be a special place for some super religious people who lived in India long ago. These caves are not just regular caves. That is cool, is that not right? The caves are just like magic rooms carved out of tough rocks. Nobody knows exactly how the ancient builders did it. There was a super secret trick that they never told anyone. Even the walls inside the caves have sketches and signs that are like a code. Scientists have yet to figure out what their meanings are. Also, the Ajavikas practiced tough things like fasting and wandering around without clothes, and they disappeared without notice. Hence, the caves are like a big mystery book that makes you wonder and imagine, with more questions than answers. The lost city of the Kalahari. Hidden under the sandy deserts of the Kalahari is an expansive and dry place in Africa. It covers parts of Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. Dating back to the late 1800s, mysteries surround the area. Guillermo Farini, a Canadian adventurer, claimed to have found an ancient city in the heart of the desert. He described it as a significant heap of stones. He said it features complex blocks and possibly even a temple or tomb. However, Farini's story was questioned. The reason was that nobody else could prove he was right. Then over the years, lots of groups tried to find this lost city, but none of them succeeded. Some weird things, like an old boat or a rock pit right in the middle of the desert, were found. It is, however, possible that what people think of as a city might be natural rocks. Barac Island. Barac was nearly an island in an exactly unknown location. Presently, due to a slight drop in water levels, it stands as a plateau in Xiangkhoang, Kazakhstan. Similar to No Return Island in Kenya, Barac is believed to be a place from which nobody returns. Its name is translated from its original Turkic language. This signifies that whoever arrives there will never leave. In 1939, Barac was declared a National Reserve Center. It remained a no-go area for visitors for the entire 20th century. However, the Soviet activities on the island during those years remain unknown. Even today, electronic devices malfunction as one approaches, and appropriate equipment ceases to function. An existing report says that people's skin turns blue after a long time of openness to or closeness to the plate. Barac remains a mysterious and supernatural place. The Devils Kettle, Minnesota. In the heart of Judge C.R. Magny State Park in Minnesota, a natural mystery has baffled both tourists and scientists for ages. The Devil's Kettle falls along the Brule River near Lake Superior's North Shore. The river separates at a rocky outcrop. On one side, the water flows down a two-step slope like a regular waterfall. But on the other side, something extraordinary happens. What happens? The water vanishes into a deep hole and seemingly disappears forever. For the longest time, nobody had a clue where the water went. But to solve the mystery, people tried tossing all sorts of things into the whole ping-pong ball, dye, GPS trackers, and even logs. None of them ever popped up in the lake or anywhere else, however. That's strange, isn't it? It was like the water was going into a magical portal. The Hill of Crosses is in northern Lithuania. A special small hill covered in thousands of crosses and religious symbols was called the Hill of Crosses. This is no ordinary hill, as it creates a unique and mysterious site of pilgrimage. The story behind this exercise is like a riddle that no one has quite solved yet. Over the centuries, different stories have been shared, adding to the charm. No one knows the exact number of crosses. In 1990, however, there were about 55,000. By 2006, it had grown to around 100,000. It has dangling rosaries, magic in the wind, icons of saints and heroes, and photos of local heroes creating a rolling soundtrack. Despite several attempts to get rid of it, this incredible pilgrimage spot stands strong as a symbol of deep devotion. Mountain Votara. The Votara mountain is often called the Russian Stonehenge. The dreadful place is located in Karelia. The mountain and its surroundings are very dreadful. It has dry, twisted trees and strong stone blocks. Mount Votara is located in the remote forests of Karelia, about 160 kilometers west of the town of Medvedjegorsk. The nearest village to the mountain is Gimeli, a few tens of kilometers from the town of Medvedjegorsk or the village of Gervis. The road has a low-quality asphalt surface, but then more than 100 kilometers will have to go on a dirt road. Alternatively, you can get from St. Petersburg to the village of Gyumri by train. The distance from the village of Gyumri to the mountain of Votara is 20 kilometers. It is not possible to drive on this road by car. You can go only if you have a specially prepared car for off-road driving. Century-old pine trees grow on the mountain. Their height can reach only up to 1 meter. There are no animals or birds in the mountains. The lakes are uninhabited. Unfortunately, the mystery of Votara has not yet been solved by scientists. Rumors about the place say that once upon a time, sorcerers communicated with evil spirits and sacrificed to the ancient gods. Others say that it is a special point on Earth where time has stopped. There are many theories, but no one knows exactly what the place is. Stone balls of Costa Rica. In the 1930s of the last century, travelers began to find strange stone balls in some impossible corners of Costa Rica. The size of the objects ranges from a few centimeters to several meters. The maximum weight reaches 20 tons. It would seem that there's nothing unusual about these boulders, but scientists were amazed by the perfect shape of the stones. It gives the feeling that the giants have rolled smoothly and then snowballed out of the rock. In the jungles of Costa Rica, there are numerous such objects. About 300 spherical stones are grouped into 50 pieces, and often they are laid out in the form of geometric shapes. 3 versions explain this sensation. First, it is a creation of human hands. Second, it is the activity of volcanoes. And third, it is associated with an alien invasion. The most recent hypothesis regarding the symbolic importance of the stone spheres was developed by Melissa Rudin Hernandez. She was a Costa Rican architect who investigated the cosmovision of indigenous cultures. According to this hypothesis, the spheres are an artistic, symbolic, and spiritual creation of the universe. They are regarded as the center of the world. It is this center that comes from the pre-Brunca spirituality of Dikwas culture. Darencuyu in Turkey. Darencuyu is an underground city covered in mystery. It is in the heart of Turkey. The geological mystery served as a clandestine refuge across centuries. It shelters people from invasions. With its breathtaking complexity, Historic Mysteries recounts its story as an 18-level complex. It is a creation born from the originality of an ancient Anatolian dweller. As researchers delved into its depths, an astonishing array of chambers, kitchens, bathrooms, dwellings, food storage rooms, wine presses, churches, schools, and even weapon storage areas were uncovered. With a capacity of around 20,000 souls, Darencuyu held within its labyrinthine all the essentials for a population to vanish seamlessly from invaders. Eternal Flaming Falls, Mexico. In a twist of general belief, Eternal Flame Falls in the Shale Creek Preserve baffles geologists with its comparison of fire and water. How can fire and water coexist in a place when they originally don't relate? This remains a mystery in the place in western New York. The 35-foot waterfall allows visitors to look beyond the falls to a small, flickering flame hidden in the caves behind the water. Initially, scientists believed that, as was the case with other eternal flames, hot rocks releasing natural gas deposits from under the ground started the fire. However, researchers from Indiana University found that the rock under the waterfall wasn't hot enough to form the necessary pockets of natural gas to keep the flame burning. So what's keeping the eternal flame flickering behind the falls? No one has a scientific explanation for it, but legend gives credit to local Native American tribes. According to claims, they lit the flame thousands of years ago. Thank you for watching. While you are still here, kindly click the like and subscribe buttons, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. We await your comments and reviews in the comment section. See you soon.